Hey, good evening, everybody. Mark Morek here, managing partner with Ciresi Morek. Thanks for joining us again. We have a little different format this afternoon, so thanks for joining us. We're going to go through the jobs and everything else. We are going to talk about our placements and our new searches here in just a second. We're going to do a resume review on a couple of folks. Thanks for sharing your information. And then we actually had a special guest that we interviewed. We had to record earlier because she was unable to make it, but we thought it would be pretty cool to get a different perspective. This is one of our partners that we work with. She is a HR business partner. She does talent acquisition for one of the top 10 privately held companies in the world. We've been working with them on and off for a couple of years now, and great partnership and relationship with them. And she was nice enough to carve out a few minutes and share some information with us. So we'll have that taped live stream, kind of premiere of it, go at 5:15. So we have a lot of stuff to cover. Something I do want to remind, a couple of things out there. Monthly newsletter goes out at the middle of the month. If you have any interest in receiving that, it always has like our hot jobs, active jobs, a couple articles and blogs that we post, and some links to videos as well, some great information. If you are interested in receiving that, we're not going to bombard you. You'll get it once a month. That's it. We're going to put up the link here in a second. You can go to the website. The other thing is, don't forget about our referral program. We've had some really great referrals coming in. Really appreciate it. If you have the person's resume, it definitely helps us. And then also, if it's kind of what the relationship is, if you have any questions on that, we're going to send that link up as well. It's pretty self-explanatory on the website. So thanks again for those that have been participating. And then the last thing is, before we jump into this, we are trying to serve you guys and gals, right? I mean, what we're trying to do is be a resource for you, a value add. What can we do to help you? So some of you have been really, really direct with us, and I appreciate it, on things that we can do, maybe topics or discussions. Like if you want us to talk to somebody, or you have questions, or you have a topic you want us to investigate, let us know what it is. If it has to do with hiring or manufacturing or something that's in our wheelhouse, we'll absolutely do it. So if you have those ideas, please feel free to shoot them over to us at info@ceresiandmorek.com. And if it's a crazy ass idea that we don't use, we'll probably make fun of you, but we won't embarrass you too bad. So jumping into our placements, we want to congratulate David Rudmiller is HR Systems and Compensation Manager with Ohio Transmission Corporation. Congratulations. Philip Snyder just started on Monday as a plant manager for Dexter Axle in Fremont, Indiana. And Bernard Nwanju is a plant manager with Crane Composites. Congratulations, and hopefully you guys have a great career, and when you need to build your team, please think of us. So new jobs. So here's a fun fact, right? November 18th, we still don't have a certified election. Don't want to get into political views on this one, but I think Georgia's still working through some issues. Hopefully soon we're going to have one or two here behind us. You can see who's there. So it'll be one of these guys. But we still see a very strong performance within manufacturing. We feel very blessed here at Ciresi Morek that we're as busy as we are. We haven't had this many jobs, I think, since I can't even remember when. I think we have like 72 or 73 positions now. We're going to go over a bunch here of the new ones. But manufacturing still is strong, and companies are still looking to hire, even though we're getting into the holiday season. Next week's Thanksgiving. Typically stuff slows down, but we've really seen an increase in activity. The companies are trying to get the stuff done before the end of the year. So with that said, in Piqua, Ohio, we need a plant manager for a food company. Down in Greenville, South Carolina, for an automotive tier 1, we're looking for a plant manager for a large plant. We have a confidential replacement for a maintenance supervisor in Detroit, Michigan. Quick side note, I know I'm going to go faster these here because I do have kind of limited time. All of this is on the website, so you can go to our active search page, find out information, find out exactly who the folks are that you need to contact. We have an HR generalist role in Camden, Tennessee. Tennessee's got no state tax, and it's a beautiful location. We're looking for a quality manager in Macon, Georgia. Preferably automotive, but doesn't need to be. Somebody who's got an ISO background or a TS background, even maybe an aerospace. Just some kind of structured quality program would be great. And then from a building products company, we are looking for a sourcing manager in Detroit, and then HR managers in PA, Eastern PA, Louisville, Kentucky, and then Wichita, Kansas. If you know anybody that would be interested in that, please let us know. And again, this is all on the website. We've got an automotive tier 1 transplants or Asian supplier. They are looking for a director of quality and a director of supply chain in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They're also looking for a program manager that has a Japanese language skill set. So if you know anybody that's in that area or wants to get to that area, that would be Kurt Judy from our office. He'd be the guy to connect with. The other one is we have a director of marketing. It's really a lot on kind of the e-commerce side of things. It's a little bit new area for us. We've done a lot of sales and marketing stuff, but e-commerce is one of those that we've been kind of circling around. This one's got a lot of teeth on it. It's out of the Akron, Ohio area. Somebody who understands, has a relationship with Amazons of the world and has done e-commerce. We'd love to chat with you. And then we have outside of Los Angeles, we have for a building products company, a materials manager and a production manager role. So those are the new ones from the last time we did our live stream with you guys. So you can see we've got a ton of activity, a lot of operation stuff, a lot of human resources stuff going on, both automotive as well as outside of automotive. A couple of other ones I do want to highlight. We've got a lot of operational roles in the Chicago area. So if anybody's not scared to go to Chicago, wants to talk about them, let us know. And then also there's a confidential operations manager, kind of like a big number 2 for an automotive plant in the Detroit area. So those last two we just talked about our stuff that's out there. We're just looking for some help on them because there's a lot of activity. We're just trying to find the right person now. So any questions on those? So, all right, we're going to jump into resume reviews. The first one is confidential. This gentleman asked us to kind of stay out of it with qualitative metrics. How much money did you save? Basically, we serve one of two functions. You can boil down to your organization is that you are saving them money or you're making them money. So if you want to do that, something along those lines, that's kind of the context that I would put it in. So quantitative, qualitative metrics, numbers, right? Something measurable, and then go from there. The rest of this, I mean, you've got your professional development, your education stuff listed in there, great. You have some international stuff. The thing I didn't see, Ontario, and I don't know, you came from overseas. I'm sure you have a language skill set. I don't see that on the resume anywhere. If I missed it, I apologize, but it's one of those things, right? And you'll see this in the video, the interview we did with Kali Chattman. Again, she's a business partner and talent acquisition for one of the top 10 largest companies in the U.S. And she talks about how to differentiate yourself. That's part of our dialogue. So that's something here, like you're a language skill set, especially the fact I just had a job that I listed that they're looking for somebody with a Japanese skill set, right? So put it on there because you never know. They may need somebody from your home country that speaks fluently. So you'd be amazed at the stuff that you can connect. And then besides that, I think it's pretty good. I mean, the qualifications, you could maybe do a summary statement and lower the highlight shorten the highlights or qualification side of things. But besides that, I think it's a good resume. You've got a lot of good information in here, Ontario, and but you need to explain and kind of reformat things a little bit. Tell me who the company is. Tell me what you're responsible for, and then hit your metrics, quantitative, qualitative bullets of what you've done, why you why the company's better for having you in that position. Any other questions you have on it? If there's something specific that we did not touch, feel free to shoot me an email at info@ceresiandmorek.com and reference the live stream tonight. Okay, so hopefully that helps. The other gentleman we're going to do, and this is kind of interesting, Matt, we're going to jump into yours now. Hopefully you're with us, and if you're not, you can look at this later. But so Matt does both. He's got kind of dual functionality. He can be marketed as an ops plant manager guy. He can be marketed or sold as a human resources person. And I think he does a good job of staying consistent with what it looks like and then just changing the verbiage. But Matt, what I would recommend, there's a couple of things from a format structure piece. It looks really cool if it prints out right, but you've got the logos, and I would definitely say no go on the logos. It messes up your ATS, applicant tracking systems. A lot of this stuff is automated now, where they're going to put it automatic. You apply, and then it goes right into like a database, and your logos are going to screw that up typically. I mean, it looks really cool, but it's a formatting issue, and I don't know if it would be worth it. The other thing is, when you send them to us, you gave them to us in a Word format, and if you're like hell bent on keeping these formats, that's fine. Do what you want, but I would strongly encourage you to PDF it then, because that'll at least lock in a lot of the formatting. So, so that's kind of the format thing. And then the same thing that I said on when I was talking to Ontario about, I'd recommend you do as well. Like, your professional summary is great. You delineate, and the one you gave us is plant manager, the other one you gave us human resource manager. Oh yeah, before I forget, Matt, kill the black block at the top. It screws up formatting as well. I mean, it's easier to look at, right? Like in the pile of resumes, you're going to see that as you're scrolling through, but I'd recommend you do something else with it. So going back to the delineation between HR and plant management, you do a great job in the professional summary. I like that a lot. The thing I would recommend is your metrics that you have on the side. When you have your HR resume, which is here, you have HR metrics that are highlighted. I would recommend, if you're on your plant management one, to bring up plant management metrics on the left-hand side for your call-outs, just from a consistency, right? So you're talking about, hey, I want to be a plant manager over 25 years experience, and then you're telling me about your business career in HR, employees and compensation and benefits, right? So it's just one of those things that, have it align with what you're trying to sell on your background. If you're trying to demonstrate yourself as a plant manager, then talk about the plant manager accomplishments versus how many employees and benefits, employees you had under employee and benefit stuff when you were an HR guy. So, and then what I said with Ontario, flip it around, right? Tell me, Truck Light LLC. Tell me like what they do, who they are, and then give me your plant manager title, and then delineate what your responsibilities are in a couple sentences, and then call out or highlight the your bullets, right? Your accomplishments, quantitative, qualitative metrics. So the other thing is, you got the what people say here as well. You got these quotes. I don't know, maybe I'm just old school with it. You were an HR manager. I think I could argue both sides of why not to have them and why to have them. But for me, unless I know these people, I guess the reason I wouldn't put it on there, unless I know who these people are, it doesn't matter to me, right? But if you know for sure that I know who these people are with these quotes, then there's going to be some power and impact. If not, you're just taking up real estate on your resume, and there's no value add there for you. So, great education, right? I mean, you worked for some great companies, some well-known companies. I would just keep the format with regards to what the company does, what your responsibilities were in that title, and then what the bullets were out of there. So, I don't know if you had any, and again, same thing I told Ontario, Matt, if you have any specific questions on here, please shoot me a note at info@ceresiandmorek.com. And then I see a note here, the automated tracking system, it's applicant. ATS stands for applicant tracking system. So, automated is a cool name too. So, all right. So a lot of information we kind of got through quickly, but I'm really excited about kind of our next topic here. We're going to go live here in a few. Before we do that, was there anything else that we had? I'm looking. Good there. So the premiere that we have launching in about 3 minutes. Again, like I mentioned, Kali Chattman is she's been a great business partner to work with. I mean, she does, typically the thing that I love about working and partnering with her is typically when you deal with third-party recruiters, right, is what I am, and they partner with internal talent acquisition from the company, it's kind of an adversarial relationship. And Kali's always been incredibly professional, and she's always been a big supporter, right? She gets it. There is a strategic relationship. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship. There are things, most internal acquisition teams cannot fill all of the needs that are out there. There's times that it's more efficient to pull in somebody, right? And so I think we've done a very good job of, they do not call us all the time, right? They don't need us all the time. But when they've gone through their process and it no longer makes sense for them to continue the search, for whatever reason that is, she's been great at giving us a shot. And I think we've done very well with following up with her and delivering for her. And so again, I think it's a great example of how, because whenever I call people, this is what I teach the folks that, we train when we bring them on is, the pushback is always, well, we have an internal recruiting department. Great. Guess what? 99.9% of my customers have a very robust internal recruiting department that they spend millions of dollars on, and they serve a great function. They save a lot of money. But the way our business model is designed is we're not going to be an internal recruiting department for an organization. We are the ones that usually are called in when there's some reason that it hasn't been successful for whatever, it's a very tough search. The market is very slow. The location is not the greatest, whatever the reason is. And I think we've formed that relationship and cultivated it over the years. So it's gone well. But some of the things that we asked, right, and you'll see this in the video, but we talked about, her point of view with the organization, what's important there, how to differentiate yourself on the resume, in the interview process, what do they look for hiring, how has COVID-19 impacted things, and then, kind of how to differentiate yourself from a resume. So without ado, I guess we're going to go live here in a minute, but thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions, anything else, I can't stress it enough. Please, 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 if you have topics you want us to cover, let us know. Okay, tell us. If it's crazy, we'll let you know. But let me know, info@CeresiMorek.com. If you want us to review your resume, shoot it over to me as well and let me know. Resume review. We've got a bunch of people in the hopper to do that. But you can't send it like an hour before we go live. Okay, send it to me like now for next time we do this. And then Anna Maria from our office. Thank you very much.